What up, y'all? Today I wanted to talk to you about, had some questions come through about the Hoover situation, and also another person on the channel I mentioned, and they were wondering why the narcissist didn't have them on block as far as their phone number goes. So I'm going to address those two things. First, I'm going to address the phone number thing. So typically when you discard the narcissist, or you've been discarded by the narcissist, they'll put you on block for a period of time, but that because they've monkey branched somebody, they if they discarded you, typically it's because they have somebody else they can go to that's better, so they're okay for a while. They also know that they can always get you back, and even if you discarded them and they monkey branch someone else, they're going to put you on block because they're injured from, you gave them a narcissist injury. And like I said, they feel like you're going to become crawling back to them anyway soon. So that's why you'll be on block initially. Unless, like, if you didn't know that they were a narcissist and you were, like, really trying to still figure out stuff and you've been trauma bonded, it's like you're like one cycle in or something, you might be, like, reaching out to them, begging them and stuff or something like that. Then they may leave you off block completely because they like that negative energy. And they won't respond maybe, but they'll just, like, take the energy. But typically, yeah, when you go on block, they put you on block, they'll leave you on block for a while, but then after a period of time when they have expected that you should have gotten back to them and you haven't, that's when they start to unblock, because they start to get to where they be thinking about you, somewhere they got triggered thoughts of you, whether they were out somewhere or somebody mentioned your name and one of the flying monkeys or something, who knows. But any which way, they kind of start thinking, hey, this person should have kind of reached out by now, because they typically would have. But you're on no contact, so, or whatever. So, and I guess maybe you mean it this time. So you're kind of going longer than you ever have. And it was unexpected, so they don't like that, so they'll leave you off block. And if they continue to not hear from you, then they're going to have to, like, kind of start stalking you, or have the flying monkeys come around, or they may text you if they can get through to you. That's why you want to always have them on block. And it'll usually be something simple, because it's going to be a heat check, just like, hey, how you doing? How you been? And then, if you respond, then they may just not even bother with you for a while, because they know that they have control over you still. If you don't respond, then they have to move to the next step, which is maybe you have a flying monkey come through. If they're blocked, they have to go to email or leave a voicemail. But if they don't hear from you, that's again another injury. So they're going to try a few times to get through to you, and then after that, they usually will pull away for a time. If they can't get through, they usually pull away for another 2-3 weeks, and then they'll try again, sometimes the same way, sometimes another way, through the flying monkeys by proxy or something, or they always get you passively from, like, around the corner, but email or something like that. And that's kind of typically with that. So in the other case of the Hoover was, like, if it's been like 2 years or something, they haven't hoovered you. Well, the thing is, not all narcissists hoover. Some don't hoover. I think all do, but they say not all narcissists do. I mean, I guess some don't, because some probably feel like that it's too far gone, or they're too paranoid to go back to something they've already busted up, maybe, and they have the ability to always get a new source, like they don't have trouble doing it. But typically, if they haven't got back to you, they may be one of those, or they have plenty of sources that are better sometimes. I hate to say that, but if they have I mean, let's just be honest. I mean, if you have better source of supply, why would you go back, But that may not be the case at all. It could be just they have a longer cycle because they have the ability to get more more sources of supply. They may not be that toxic. If they're not as toxic as some narcissists, they may stay with them to that 18 to 2-year type period of time before they break up with them. They say that's kind of like around the time period where it doesn't matter what source supply you are. By the time 2 years comes around, they usually have left. Not for a long time, maybe, but they had at least broke up for a short time, at least. Or, some people, they could stay with them forever, but you'll have to have no boundaries at all and just accept anything and everything they give. So it just really depends on the narcissist, to be honest with you. Some are so destructive and they have the ability to get sources of supply like every 2 to 3 months. So if they have like 4, 5, 6 sources of supply, they could run through them every 2 months, and that could be their cycle, 2 to 3 months. Or they just destroy them that quickly because all the things inside them and the way that they act and operate, nobody can last that long with them. But typically what you'll find is there's usually, there's always 3 people. There's you, the narcissist, and another individual like you. So you're talking about, there's never less than 3, but there's sometimes 4 or 4 of you, which would be the narcissist, and then 3 others. That to me, I think is probably the typical. But those, like the secondary, tertiary, and those types, they could be just like one night stands every like now and then, or stay with them for a weekend, or go on a trip with them, or whatever. Like they're just like the sex, pleasure, and fun people kind of thing. If the individual just sees them and like wines them, dines them, they're usually like, when you get into secondary, tertiary, stuff like that, once you get past the secondary, you get into people that are usually like they're below their class, is my opinion. So they don't mind being used because they're like, I guess I would say probably in the looks department, and maybe age. Like the tertiary supply may be much older and may not be able to typically get the narcissist in the looks department, and they may like younger, I don't know, men or women, and they normally wouldn't get the opportunity to get this. So it would be, the narcissist only comes with pain and destruction. No, they only come with looks, really, because there's nothing else there. So typically that's kind of what you'll see when it comes to the narcissist. And so they'll just cycle through them, and they may have to break them up because they have many sources of supply. So they'll just do 2 to 3 month cycles, and then they'll find a way to destroy them and go on monkey branch to the next one, because they got to keep up with the harem, and some narcissists do a Hoover, a mini Hoover, like every two months, maybe, just like check on you, heat check you, maybe like go out with you for like one night and then like not speak to you again, like kind of ghost you, like if they know that they have you under control and that you're below them, and they're just seeing where you're at and making sure that they still have the ability to get you if they need you. So it's kind of like checking up on you, making sure that if they have to reach out because they need supply, they'll be able to get you. And so they're always, and they may stalk you, come around or whatever to see how you're doing, because they also need to make sure that you're below them, like that they are on top. I mean, in every area, like, and you're not enjoying yourself, that you haven't recovered yet, because that's how they regulate their own emotions and their own self-esteem is through mainly through their supply, their past supply and their current supply. So they have to have them below them. If two things that will get you to get them to hoover you is like if you start dating somebody and you're their property, you know. So according to them, they can't have that, so they may come over you real quick. Or if you're doing much better, like, you know, you got some nice new things going on, you know, and you're above them now, they can't have that. So they'll try to hoover you real quick over those two things. And they like to hoover somebody if they're in a relationship, starting a new relationship, so they could bust up the relationship too, to where like they're going to destroy the relationship between you and that person, where they may meet with that person and try to intimidate them, you know, from seeing you anymore, or to say bad things about you, so they won't ever want to be with you. And then get, you know, destroy that relationship between you and that other person that you've been starting a relationship with. They may stay with you for a little while, and then they'll get rid of you. And then you'll have that person, you'll never be able to get them back because they have destroyed it. And again, you fell in the trap of being seduced again. So don't do it, because they're, like I said, they're always the same. They're destructive. And they always say when the narcissist comes back, they come back to destroy you more and to keep you down more. And the more cycles that you do, the more horrendous it is and the harder it is on you, your body, your psyche, your spirit, your mind, everything. So the best thing you can do is stay away, and stay away for life. Put them on block. Don't worry about what they're doing. If they come around, tell them nothing, gray rock them, give them no emotion, look at them funny and walk away, or smile, because they hate when you're happy. If they smear campaign you, just don't say anything. Just look at them, smile. If they come around. Flying monkeys, don't tell them anything, even if they tell you that they don't really hang out with the narcissist anymore. Trust no one during that period. Trust nobody. All right. So, give me a like, a thumbs up, subscription, and stand tall, soldier. Peace out. Love y'all. Peace.